So last session we were discussing about the string functions, what are all the string functions are there and how we are going to apply the string functions. So we are going to continue the same session to understand the remaining string functions. So now here let me open last class notes, and we have started discussing about these string functions. So substring is the function where we are going to extract a portion or else a part of the value from a string value. That's what we saw that in a last session, substring. So now we are going to continue with the char index, what is the purpose of char index function, and the rest of the other functions, and a few other functions we will discuss it on today. Okay, so now here let me connect to the SQL server. I am going to connect into the SQL server, and here we can see that. So now this is what the string function, guys. It is opening. I don't know, guys, why system is becoming slow day by day. I have to work on it. But FCC is taking more time. Okay guys, let's come back to here. So last session we discussed about the substring function. Substring will take three parameters, parameter 1, parameter 2, total 3 parameters, and parameter 1 represents actual value from where we are going to display the substring. Parameter 2 is the starting position of the substring, and parameter 3 represents the number of characters, including starting position, how many number of characters we need to display. That's what the substring function. And next we have char index function. So char index function also will take 3 parameters. First we will see that char index example, and then we will come back to these nodes, guys. So now see here, the char index is the function, and this char index will help to display the position of a character in the value. So the char index will help to display the position of a character in that value. Let's see here, this is my actual value. Second parameter is the actual value, and this is now the character what I am looking for. I am looking for the character @ symbol in this value. So what is that? What is the position of the @ symbol? Where that @ symbol is there? In which position? chreddy@hotmail.com. Now let's count when this @ symbol will come. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now @ symbol is there in the 8th position. So 8 will return, the number 8 will return. So similar way, I want to see that the position of the character H in a chreddy@hotmail.com. What is the position of the character H? But here the thing is, we have 2 characters are there in this value. H is came in twice. So which character position it will return? First it will start looking for the character H from the left side. From the left side it will start looking for the character H. So which H will come, guys? Now see here, the H is it is identified, the H is came in a second position. So it will return the value 2. So it will not going to bother about this H, guys. Whichever the character H will come first, that character position it will return. Come first means from the left side, it will start searching from the first position from left side. Okay, so that is what here it will search for the character H from the left side, and whichever the character will come first, that character position it will return. So that's what here. And here I am looking for, here I mentioned 2 words, 2 HO. There should be the characters HO. There should be the character means it doesn't matter, even if I give some different characters here which we are not there in our value, it will not return anything. But here HO, I am looking for HO. HO is here. So in this HO, what is the position of this? Is, let's say this is one word. HO is one word, right? I am looking for HO. So HO is a find out. Yes sir, here it is the HO. In this HO, what is the first character? H is the first character, then return the position of this H. So now here it's very simple, guys. I am looking for the word and it is identified that word. In that word, what is the first character? H. Then return the position of that H. That's it. So now it will search for the word HO from the left side, from the first character onwards. From this character onwards, it is looking for HO. Yes, it is found out here. So finally, it is found the HO over here. So then it will return the position of the first character in this search word. In this HO, what is the first character? H. And what is the position of this H? Let's count here, guys. What is the position of that H? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 is the position of this H. So it will return 9. Let's execute these things, guys, and then let's see that now it will show that same numbers 8 to 9. With position, the first select statement is giving 8. Second select statement is giving the result 2. The third select statement is giving the result 9. So similar way, here we have, I am looking for the H. See now here you see this, guys, this time I given third parameter. What is this third parameter? What is the difference between this query and this query, guys? Here I mentioned the third parameter. What is the usage of this third parameter? That means this third parameter is optional. Here you didn't mention the third parameter, sir, but here we mentioned the third parameter. Then what is the difference? So if you don't mention third parameter, the search will start from first position. It is looking for this character from the first position. In case if we don't provide the third parameter. So the third parameter is represents a number. So that number represents from which position you are going to start searching for the word. So from fifth position onwards, from left to right, guys, always left to right, from fifth position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from this position onwards, it start looking for the character H. And you can leave the first 4 characters, leave it, whatever the 4 characters are there, just ignore that. And you can start searching for the character H from the fifth position onwards. That is the meaning of this is third parameter 5. So now let's start looking for the H here. It is not there, it is not there. Yes, it is found over here. So finally it is found the H over here. So what is the position of this H? 9. So finally it is going to return the number 9. Because the H is available at a 9th position after 5th position. After 5th means including 5th also. From the 5th position onwards, if you start searching for the character H, then where you are finding out, I am going to finding out it the character H at a 9th place. So now here this is the third parameter, this is optional. If you don't put this third parameter, then what will happen? The search will start from the first position. If you put some number here, then the search will start from that number. Okay, that is only the difference here. So it will start search for the character H from the position 5 towards right side. Guys. So it returns the position of the character H which occurs first. So now from the 5th character onwards, which H is came? This H is came. So this H position of this H will return. From 5th position, when it is start searching from the 5th position to last, there are 2 H's, 2 characters are there H. Here it is one H, and here it is one H. So whichever H will come first, that character H position it will return. Okay, this is fine, guys. Now see, we are going to see that. So I declared one variable email ID, and here it is another. Same variable email ID, and in this email ID I am storing a value chreddyS@gmail.com. chreddyS@gmail.com. Okay. So now here when it is displaying that email ID chreddyS@gmail.com, you see that now here I am looking for the position of @ symbol in that email ID variable. In this variable, whatever value is there, in that value what is the position of @ symbol, I want to display that, and the position of the dot symbol. So let's see that. I am going to uncomment out this one, and let's execute this one. It is going to show that the @ symbol is there in the 9th position and the dot symbol is there in the 15th position. Okay. So this is what here it is. And the same thing for suppose guys, For suppose I have the dot symbol before this @ symbol, then which dot symbol it will produce? It is going to give the dot symbol which will come first, right? So this dot symbol it will return, and this is the @ symbol. So now let's see this. Okay, I think we need to execute from the beginning, right? Because from declaration point we have to execute. See, now finally it is giving this select statement is giving @ symbol is there in the 10th position. Here guys, this is what the value we are storing, new value. @ symbol is there in the 10th position and the dot symbol is there in the 8th position, because this dot is written, because this dot we will find out for the first. So now here my point is I want to display the position of this dot symbol, which dot will come after @ after @ whichever dot will come, that dot position I want to display that, but not this one guys. Here the requirement is I want to display that dot symbol, the position of dot symbol which will come after @ symbol. How did you do this? So that means @ symbol is there in the 10th position, so I want to display the dot symbol which will come after 10th position. So for that we can write like this, right guys? You see that now? So I am going to display the dot symbol, the position of dot symbol which will come in the @ email ID variable, which will come after 10th position. So it will start looking for the dot symbol from the position 10 in that value, so that in the 10th position what value is there? @ symbol is there. So we will get the position of dot symbol which will come after @ symbol. So let's execute. I think we have to execute all these lines from the declaration point. So let's execute this one. Now you see that the third SQL statement, this one, the third select statement is giving the dot symbol is there in a 16th position, because this is the dot symbol after @ symbol. @ symbol is there in a 10th position, and the dot symbol, this dot is there in a 15th position, and this dot is there in a 8th position. Guys, see this. Now I am going to display this dot which comes after @ symbol. The position of @ symbol is 10 now, so I mentioned that 10 directly here, and I want to see the dot after 10. So this is not the right way to define, because this 10 is not fixed all the time. If you change your email ID, the position of @ symbol may change, right? So let's see here. This is my another email ID. If you still use this 10, it will not work, because the position of @ is different now. Because the position of @ symbol is different now. Guys, you are following me, right? So the position of @ symbol is different now. So what is the position of @ symbol? Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now the position of @ symbol is 12. So if you are still using 10, it will not work. So for that is the reason what I am doing now here. Guys, you see that? So what I am going to do that, so instead of specifying the 10, I am going to directly specify the position of get the position of @ symbol. How did you get the position of @ symbol? See this guys, char index. So now I am looking for the dot symbol in the variable @ email ID variable, in the @ email ID variable, from the position of @ symbol. @ symbol is there in a 12th position. So what I am going to do that, I don't want to define a static value here. I don't want to put a 10 or 12 or that. I am going to say that here, please go ahead and get the position of @ symbol. How did you get the position of @ symbol? So now here inside this again I am going to write, again I am going to define. How did you get the position of @ symbol? This is the small query. Let's copy this query and put it here. Put that here, that's it. So no need to write the select one more time here, just this function. You see that now? Guys, this is what the char index function. I am looking for the position of dot symbol in the email ID value, the whatever value is there in this variable, in that value, and from which position? From the position of @ symbol. See that this represents, so start looking for the dot symbol from the position of @ symbol. So now here it will start looking for the dot symbol from the position of @ symbol in that value. Here, instead of specifying a static value, I just mentioned take the position of at the rate. That's it. Whatever the position in at the rate in the email ID, so just take it. And from that position onwards, I can start looking for dot symbol. So now I am very confident. So now this will give definitely the position of the dot symbol, which will come after at the rate symbol, after the position of at the rate symbol. Okay guys, so now you see that inside this function we return one more function. Inside the function we return one more function. Okay, these things will come again and again. Okay guys, so now here, how do you get the position of at the rate symbol, guys? So now here we have this char index at the rate symbol in the my email ID variable. What is the position of at the rate symbol? So this will give the position of at the rate symbol in this value, hello.123@yahoomail.com. Okay, so now this is going to give the position of at the rate symbol. In the same way, how did you get the position of dot symbol, which will come after at the rate? So now here it is. I am looking for the dot symbol, guys, from this variable. In this variable, what value is there? In this value. I am looking for the dot symbol in this value, but there are two dot symbols are there. If you don't specify from which dot you want to verify, then it will start looking for by default from the first position. So it will definitely return this one. But here I mention one more value, char index, take the position of at the rate symbol. So what is the position of at the rate symbol here? Whatever the position it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here it will return 10 now here. So I am looking for dot symbol in the at the rate my email ID variable from the position 10, including 10 also, guys, from the position 10. Sorry guys, from the position 10. So that means from this at the rate symbol onwards you can start looking for dots. So now let's count 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20, in the place 20 the dot symbol is there. Let's execute this one and see that is it giving the right one or not. Yes, 10th position at the rate symbol is there and 20th position dot symbol is there. This is the dot symbol which come after position of at the rate. So this is the, see now here I given the proper alias names, position of at the rate symbol, and this is the position of dot which comes after at the rate. So I just given some meaningful alias names to display that. Okay. So next I want to see how many characters are there, sir, between position of at the rate symbol and the position of dot symbol. How many characters are there? I will do one thing. Just do the minus of position of dot minus position of at the rate symbol. It will give the number of characters between these two positions. But you have to do -1. You have to do -1 again because it is including dot symbol. So 20 minus 10, that will 10 will come, and again 10 minus 1, 9. So total 9 characters are there between at the rate and the dot symbol. You can count here Yahoo Mail how many characters are there. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guys, total 9 characters. So how did you do this? So very simple, guys. So copy this one, copy this entire stuff here, copy this one minus this one, and also -1. You have to do -1 because it is included this 20 and 10. So we have to do -1 also. Then only we will get the exact number of characters between these two. Not including 10 and 20, guys. Don't include 10 and 20. Except 10 and 20 positions, what characters are there, except that from 11th position to 19th position. From 11 to 19, how many characters are there? 9 characters are there, 11 to 19. Not 10 to 20. I don't want to include 10 to 20. Just except 10 and 20, how many characters are there? Except 10 and 20, how many characters are there? 11 to 19, total 9 characters are there. 11th position to 19th, total 9 characters are there. To get that 9, I am going to show here. So get the number of characters between at the rate and the dot symbol. This is the dot symbol which comes after at the rate symbol, guys. You see that what I did, I just copied this one as it is. I just copied that one as it is, minus the position of at the rate symbol. that position of @ symbol, and again I did -1. Then I will get the number of characters between @ and dot. Exclude @ and dot symbol positions, and from 11th to 19th how many characters are there. So this one will give the number of characters are there from this symbol to this dot symbol. Okay, total 9. Let's execute this one. This is the second select statement will give the value 9. Total 9 characters are there. Guys, this is how we are going to using these functions as per our requirements. But this is all a kind of practice, guys, and this is the same practice we are going to get. We are going to use this same type, same logics. We are going to use it in our SQL queries. Because I want to display a portion from this value to this value. I want to display all that values. See, now the next requirement is I want to display that what is there between @ and the dot symbol. I want to display the email subsystem. That is what Yahoo Mail. So display that substrings between @ and the dot symbol. This is what my requirement. What is there in between @ and the dot symbol, guys? Except @ and the dot, Yahoo Mail is there. I want to display this portion. If you have Gmail, it will display Gmail. If you have hotmail.com, then it will display Hotmail. It is Yahoo Mail, and so whatever it is, Rediff Mail, whatever the emails are there, it is going to show the emails. So now let's see this now. Display the substring between @ and the dot symbol. How did you display that substring, guys? I am going to take it out. So we'll see that now. I want to display the substring. This is substring. I want to display that. So now we have to use the substring function, and substring function will take. Guys, what does the substring function will take? So it will take that whole value. Substring function will take 3 parameters. What is the value, and from which position you want to start that. You want to print that substring. What is the starting position of the substring, and also how many number of characters. So what I am going to do that. So my value is there in @ my email ID. Let's start right, guys. So now I am going to use the substring function, and where is that value? The value is there in @ my email ID. So the value is there in @ my email ID, and now what is the starting position of your substring? Starting position is this y, but we should not specify this y directly. What I am going to do that the starting position is the position of @ symbol plus 1. The position of @ symbol plus 1. That is what my starting position of my substring. Guys, see this logic here. What I am saying, my starting position is equal to the position of @ plus 1. The position of @ will give here 10 plus 1, 11. From the 11th position onwards, you can start taking the substring. So now here, how did you get the position of @ symbol here, guys? Char index function. So now here I am going to do that char index function, and in this char index function I am looking for a position of @ symbol. I am looking for the position of @ symbol, and here it is, my email ID. So this is what my position of the starting position of, and I have to say plus 1. When I say plus 1, then position of @ symbol plus 1. Position of @ symbol plus 1 means this is the character, the next character after @ symbol. This is what my starting position. And how many characters? The number of characters between dot and this @ symbol. That many characters I want to display that. Okay, see these logics. So now here we have to specify the number of characters. How many number of characters are there between dot and the @ symbol? How many number of characters are there? We already written that logic here. This is what that logic. So what I am going to do that I will copy this whole logic, and this will give the number of characters between @ and the dot. Okay, guys. That same thing I am going to copy and paste here. Let's make it. This is what I am going to copy and paste. That's it, guys. Done. See that now here in this variable in my @emailid.com I am start printing the substring. and that substring starts from the position of @ plus 1, and how many characters? These many number of characters, total 9 characters it will come. See this guys, it doesn't matter whatever the email ID it is always going to display the what email account it is. For suppose you have that, right, you have abcd@hotmail.com, then it will give Hotmail, because it is going to display the portion between @ and the dot symbol. Whatever it is, how many characters are there, it doesn't matter. So I have to display, I have to start execute from the line 112, from the declaration line, right? So let's see this is the third SQL statement, and let's see that what this third SQL statement will return. It returned Yahoo Mail. Okay, so this is how we are going to use these substrings, depends on the requirements, and possibly guys, so we are going to use this index function, this type of requirements. So now we can move on to the other string functions. We have other string functions, and we'll see this other string functions guys. So now here yeah, let's move on. It's all very small, very small string functions guys, and very interesting functions here. And next we have len function. So before continuing, let me go back to the notes of this char index. Char index is taking 3 parameters: parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3. So parameter 1 is the word or else is a character, for which character you are looking for. That is what the parameter 1. Parameter 2 is the actual value in which we are looking for a character. That is what the actual value. So now parameter 3 is optional. So if you specify this parameter 3 with some position, then it will start from that position onwards. That's what the parameter 3. Okay guys. So this is what char index guys, and now we are going to see here len function. So it returns the number of characters in that value. So this is what I am going to declare @n @name varchar of 100. So in this @name variable we are going to display the value. This is what my total value. Hello, I am SQL trainer operating from Bangalore. This is my value. So guys, it will take maximum, varchar means, right, varchar of 100 means this variable will take maximum 100 characters it will store here, because we are giving 100 bytes space to this value, and each character will occupy 1 byte in a varchar data type. So now this is going to occupy maximum 100 characters. So anyway, this is less than 100 characters, so no problem. So I want to see how many characters are there here. Do we really count 1, 2, 3? It's very okay sir, this is 10 or 15, okay, we can count. If it is more than that, we can't count. So this len function will help how many number of records are there, how many number of characters are there in that particular value. That's what it will return. Let's see this. The len function will return the number of characters in that value. See that the len function is returning 49 characters are there in this value. I don't want count guys, I trust this SQL server. 49 are there, but here the thing is, sir, there are some space characters also there. Is that going to be calculated as a space characters? Yes. Space dot everything will be considered as a character. Space is also considered as a one character. So that's why you see that I am going to see that how many characters are there in this value. Ch space ready. So now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 characters are there, including space also. Total 8 characters are there. So this function will return, this time this len function will return total 8. So now it is showing up 8. Okay, guys. So similar way, for suppose guys, I have a question. For suppose sir, if I say 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, total how many? This is a number sir, this is not string value. But the fact here is, when we are looking for the number, len function is always work for characters based values only guys. But here if I use len 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, if I execute, it will give 5. So what does it mean? So let's understand what is happening internally. If you give number, right, this whole number is now converting into the characters. So this whole number, it will convert entire value into characters, character based value, into character based value. How it will character guys? In a single quote, it will take this value in a single quote 5, 6, and let's count how many characters are there. See, now that number is now converted into automatically, it will convert that number into the characters, and let's count how many characters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 characters are there. So it is written 5. And then count number of characters. So similar way, so let's see the proof for this. For suppose if I give the number like this 12456.00. So now this entire value is now converted into the character. This entire value is now first entire value into it has to convert it. It has converted entire value into character based value. Character based value like this. And then count the number of characters. And so let's count how many characters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total 8 characters are there. So it is going to include a dot also. Dot also considered as a one character. So that's why it is written 8. So let's see these two. So now the first one, the first select command is written 5. The second select command is written 8. You see that. So this is what guys len function. For suppose if I give dates are there, so the date will automatically, it is also converted into the string, and then it will count how many characters are there in the date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10. In any date, it will be 10 characters. That is a fixed length. That's what guys, the dates are always a fixed length. Okay. So now it is always written 10 characters. So for suppose here I have the space characters in the left side there. So it will include these space characters also. Now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Total 11 characters are there. Since it is included, see now here the thing is, it is going to written 11 characters. The left side, whatever space characters are there, the len function will count these left side space characters also. But the fact here is, if we have any right side space characters, that space characters will not count by len function. So let's see this one. It is going to give 11 characters. In the similar way, I added a few more characters in the right side. But these are not going to consider. The right side space characters will be omitted by len function. Omitted means, so len function will not count the right side space characters. So it always take only left side space characters, but right side ones will not considered by len. So it's written 11 since it is included left side 3 space characters only. It is not included right side space characters. Okay, I don't want to only, so it is not included right side space characters guys. Let's execute these two will give same results, because the right side characters will not be counted by len function guys. So now write a query to display the email subsystems from email ID addresses. So now how do you get that email subsystem means this part guys. We already seen that. How did we get this part? By using the char index and substring. This is what here it is guys. Okay, this is okay. So now here let's see this logic here. Pass that value user email ID and starting position of @ plus 1, and now here position of dot symbol which comes after @ minus position of @ symbol and -1. So this will give the number of characters are there between @ symbol and the dot symbol, number of characters. So that means, so this is what the logic guys. How did you get this logic? We already discussed this one, but anyway, so we are going to see this one. You see that now again, what is the position of @ symbol? It will give the position of @ symbol and position of @ symbol plus 1. And here the position of dot symbol which comes after @ symbol. This one will give the position of @ symbol which comes after @. And this one will give the number of characters. Number of characters are there between @ and the dot. That means this how many characters are there here. We already discussed this one guys in other file. Okay, so now here see, same thing I have written here again one more time. Okay. So I don't know why I written, but let's have it. Same thing guys. Okay, same thing. So because we are going to use this logic now on the SQL query, on the actual SQL query. Okay. Instead of variable name, we are going to put one column name. That's it. Instead of this variable everywhere, we are going to put one column name. That is what email ID column from employee checkout. Okay guys. This is a substring and here it is actual value, and this is what the starting position of the character. That is what position of @ plus 1. That is the starting position of my substring, and this is what it is giving the number of characters are there. So let's execute this query guys. This will give Hotmail. The last select statement is going to give the Hotmail. You see that this 10 represents the position of @ symbol. This 11 represents what is the next position after @ symbol, 11. And this 18 represents the position of dot symbol. The dot will come after @ symbol. Which dot this came after @ symbol? And this 7 represents how many characters are there between 10 and 7. Excluding 10, 18, how many characters are there? That means 11 to 17. From 11th position to 17th position, how many characters are there? Total 7 characters are there. So now this last select statement is giving the output Hotmail, because the last select statement is going to display the substring between @ and the dot symbol. So this is what guys, and next we have few more functions are there, and we'll continue those functions as well. And few more string functions are there guys, and we'll discuss few things today, and the rest we can discuss on tomorrow's session. That's not a big deal. Okay. So now we have this ltrim, rtrim functions, and replace function, and the stuff function, and the reverse, upper, lower. See, this is all functions we are using in our day-to-day works guys. In our day-to-day, when we are checking for some data in our day-to-day requirements, we are going to use these functions. I just mentioned here the functions which we are using most probably daily in a daily class. I mean in our day-to-day works. So ltrim, it will what this ltrim will do, it will trim the left side space characters. If any space characters are there in the left side to a value, that space characters will be trimmed. So now rtrim means the right side space characters. It will trim the right side space characters and then display the value. Here you see these guys, this is my value, and in this value we have left side some space characters and right side some space characters. So the ltrim will remove these left side ones, and this will display only this portion. The ltrim will display only this part. Rtrim will display only this part, because rtrim means right side trim. The right side trim means the right side space characters. Remove these right side space characters and display the rest of the value. And here see that first what I am doing here, first I am doing rtrim, ltrim, remove the left side one, on top of that again remove the right side rtrim. So usually you will see this type of functions in our SQL queries, ltrim, rtrim. That means in both side space characters I want to remove. Okay, this is what guys, ltrim, rtrim. You can check it out the same thing here. See that it is showing up same thing. Okay. So this is fine. So now here I am going to update some of the employees. Let me connect it to our database. Crystal Spiders Institute 602. So now here I am going to update the employees, their names. I am going to put some space characters before their names. Okay, so let's execute. So this is just I am updating some employees, their names guys. What I am updating, I am going to add some spaces before their names. Take their actual names, but I concatenate some space before their names and append that. So total 7 characters guys, total 7 employees. Let's execute. You see that now these people got some space characters before their names. I just updated just now. Okay. See now here when we are applying ltrim, rtrim, the spaces will be truncated. I mean that spaces will be there in a database, but while displaying that data, you see that here, while displaying this data, it is not going to show any spaces. That's the thing actually. So when we are displaying the data to the, when we are writing this select command to display the data, while displaying, I don't want to show that any spaces before and after the actual values. That's why we are using both the ltrim and as well as rtrim. If no spaces are there, then no issues at all. If any spaces are there, it will omit those spaces. Okay. You see that now here for these values there is no space is there. So those values are displaying as it is by my ltrim, rtrim functions. Okay. This is what the output is coming out from This is a R trim, L trim. And similar way, guys, so when I am displaying the data, see now here, wherever that, so we can wherever you feel like, okay, maybe in the names there may be the space characters, I don't want. In the addresses, in the gender, and in the email ID, and wherever you feel, okay sir, email ID may have some spaces before and after, I don't want to show that, then use this L trim, R trim while displaying the data. So now it will make sure that these are names, wherever you use the L trim, R trim, that columns, F name column and address column and the gender column and the email ID column. There is no way these 4 columns will have space characters before and after the values in this result set. Guys, because I am using L trim, R trim. While displaying, don't show me that space characters. But it will not modify any data in the table, guys. It will not do any modifications. Just while displaying, it will omit these space characters. And next, remove the spaces then after those values. So now here, remove the spaces and then update those values. So now here, guys, for suppose if you feel like yes sir, there are some employee names, those employee names are having spaces. So what I am doing now, so do this L trim, R trim. So small letter, capital letter, it doesn't matter, guys. So it is not a matter, but I always prefer to use a capital letter for all the system functions or system keywords. Okay, this is fine. So now here for all the employees, whoever the F name contains spaces before and after, truncate those spaces and update those values. So now this is what the way we can do that. So I updated all the employee names, same employee names, but removing space characters before and after space characters. Remove the space characters and then update that value. So that's what here we saw that, guys. And if you can see that now there is no more space characters before these names. You see that before these names there is no more space characters because we just now we updated it. Okay, guys. Similar way we have replace function. This replace functions and all we'll discuss on the next session, that is on tomorrow, guys. That is next session we'll sit on tomorrow and we'll discuss the further sessions. And also there will be the practice. We can do the practice and we can apply these functions in the SQL queries. Okay, so I will give you these notes, guys. I can upload you these notes and you can get these notes from the Google Drive and you can start practicing all these functions. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. See you on tomorrow next session.